Welcome everyone to the third round of the FIDE World Championship 2024. We have Gukesh and Ding Liren both entering together, a shake of hands, and we are about to go. This is going to be an absolutely epic encounter. Gukesh puts his bottle down first, then his player card, sits down on his chair, adjusts himself there to the right height. He's currently trailing in the match by a score of 1.5. And he needs to strike back because this is the third game. And next up, we are going into the rest day. We have the host of the match, Morris Ashley, in the background, who's not only introducing the players but also will invite the guest to the round to make the first move. But the players are already in their zone. They hardly can hear any other sound apart from the fact that they have to be giving it their 100% for the game. Gukesh adjusts all his pieces. Ding has already done that and is now ready for the battle. Look at that. Gukesh fully focused and completely ready for this. And this is his favorite pose here, to just close his eyes and get into the groove, while Ding Liren is so focused. They have to play a very long game here, 2 hours for both sides to make 40 moves, and then 30 minutes more after move 40 with a 30-second increment from move 41. E4 is what the guest has played here, and will Gukesh play once again E4? This is the move with which he lost his game. He gets his pawn back. This is the move with which he lost in round number 1. But will he play the same move or not? A shake of hands and off we go. D4 played here by Gukesh, and this is a big surprise here for Ding. Even before Ding could spring a surprise on 1 E4, it's Gukesh who's played D4. And now knight comes out to F6. And Gukesh brings his knight to F3. What is Ding going to do next here? He pushes his pawn to D5. It's a symmetrical D4, D5. Will Gukesh play the London system? Not today. He goes C4. The Queen's Gambit is on the board. And Ding can take here the accepted variation or go for the declined. He goes for declined variation. Now Gukesh generally plays knight to c3 here, but today he's in for some new tactic here. He takes c takes d5, and this is considered not that great because after e takes d5, generally in this structure which is known as the Carlsbad structure, you don't want to have already committed your knight on f3 so that you are flexible with, maybe the knight coming to e2 later and so on. But Gukesh seems to be fine with this. Knight to c3, and now let's see what Ding does. He removes his jacket because he's already a little bit surprised with Gukesh's move order, while Gukesh closes his eyes and starts to focus. Pawn to c6 has been played here. Now after pawn defends the central pawn, bishop was planning to come out to f5, so Gukesh stops it with queen to c2, and Ding insists. He's like, I'm coming with bishop f5, and if you play e3, bishop f5, bishop d3, this is already very comfortable position. So that's the reason why Gukesh goes h3. Now this looks very weird, this move, but actually it has a point, because after bishop f5, you're going to move your queen away and then hit the position with g4. Gukesh goes queen b3, attacking the pawn on b7. Ding must defend it with queen to b6, and he plays it. Queen comes out to b6. This has all been seen in the game between Vladimir Kramnik with white pieces and Arjun Erigaisi. Now g4 played here. You can come ahead with the bishop, go back here. These all moves look fine. But let's see what Ding does. He actually takes the queen. Queen takes queen. And now after a takes b3. The bishop moves in and the bishop attacks the pawn on b3. Now this pawn is loose, but there are a lot of things already happening on the board. So will Gukesh defend it? No, he goes bishop f4. His point is, if you take here, I'm going knight d2 and the bishop is kind of trapped here because bishop b2 here and f3, it's trapped. So you can't really choose to win this pawn right now. h5 played here by Ding Liren, and Gukesh very quickly goes rook g1. Yes, the game is still played before and Ding remembers it, even though if you look at the clock, Ding is down to 1 hour 27 minutes, which means he's already used 33 minutes while Gukesh has only used 4 minutes on the clock. They are still following the Kramnik-Arjun Erigaisi game. Now a very important moment. The best move here is knight to d7. And Ding has been thinking for a long time. He's actually down to 53 minutes. He thought for 34 minutes here and plays knight bd7, the best move. Now Gukesh takes a bit of time on the clock, 13 minutes to be precise, and goes knight d2. In the game Kramnik versus Arjun, Arjun had taken this pawn, but it was a bad move. Ding's move knight d7 is a definite improvement. And now rook g8, what a classy move. Because if you try to trap the bishop, I go g5, making space for my own bishop. Gukesh goes a bit rash now. He goes g5, and while this move stops the pawn from coming forward, the problem now is that the black bishop has this square where it can go back. So already if you go bishop f5, the position looks completely fine. But let's see if Ding actually goes for bishop f5, or maybe he's in a more ambitious mood. He goes rook h8, trying to look at the bishop on h2. Black's position very comfortable already here. The bishop on c2 is a bit misplaced, but right now there's no chance of it getting trapped. But Gukesh is like, not for long, my friend. I'm coming in with e4 and I want to trap your bishop here on c2. f3 played, and now e4 is the idea. Ding Liren brings his knight back to g7. Fantastic chess. The bishop is hanging on h2. So you need to save it, and Gukesh must play bishop g3. Now this is a good move. And I would say just going back bishop f5 and black is completely fine. For example, e4, just go back bishop e6, no problems. But what is Ding going to do? He goes rook h5, and that is a mistake. It's in fact the first big mistake that Ding has made in the World Championship match, and this can prove very costly, because now with his time situation, you can see 18 moves have been played. Ding is down to 27 minutes, which means he has to make 22 more moves in 27 minutes. Gukesh has to find this move e4. It's not an easy move because g5 pawn is hanging, but if he finds e4, he would be better. And Gukesh plays it. What a move, e4. The point being that if you take rook takes g5, rook c1 traps the bishop. So he takes on e4, pawn takes pawn, and Gukesh must recapture back now. It's all revolving around the bishop on c2. Can it be trapped or not? Takes on e4. And now the bishop is kind of inside the cage, but the knight comes in, attacks the pawn. If you try to defend it, I bring my knight in and try to wriggle out with the bishop. But rook c1 played here by Gukesh. He's attacking the bishop, but now the knight will take the pawn and defend the bishop on c2. Yes, Ding takes it. And now, what is Gukesh's next idea here? Bishop f2. Yes, he plays it. It attacks the knight, and if the knight moves, the bishop falls. So, now bishop comes to g7. And if you take here, I take here attacking the rook, so there's no time to take the bishop. Gukesh has to find now the winning move. He plays it, knight e2. This is an amazing move, because after knight takes knight, you go bishop takes, and this bishop on c2 is trapped. Unbelievable, isn't it? So that's the reason why Ding takes on b3. But now the bishop on c2 is lost. Rook takes c2. And after knight takes knight, yes, black has some compensation, but he's down a piece. Now, we have to be very careful, because if you take with the rook, knight e5 comes in, threatening knight c4 and knight f3 check. So king takes d2 is the best move, and Gukesh does find it. King takes d2, the knight jumps into e5. Now this knight is threatening a massive fork here on f3 square. So you need to deal with it either by moving the king up or playing knight to d4. He plays his knight to d4, stopping knight f3 check, because if you, the knight is controlling here, and Ding comes in and pins the knight. King to e2, fantastic chess here by Gukesh. He sees that there is pressure here from the rook and the bishop, but he has it covered. Now rook to h2 played. And here the white pieces do look a bit clumsy, but slowly and steadily Gukesh is unraveling. He moves his bishop for the first time in 28 moves. a6 played just so that the pawn is not hanging on a7 in certain lines. Now knight f3 does look like a good idea here. Just bring your knight back. Will Gukesh play here? By the way, Ding down to 11 minutes on the clock. Time is going to play a crucial role in this game. 40 minutes for Gukesh. He thinks for 8 minutes and plays pawn to b3. Just controlling the c4 square. Also removing the pawn from the attack of the bishop here. Rook to d7 comes ahead. And now Gukesh goes rook c1. I really love how Gukesh is keeping his calm, not really rushing into things. King e7 up by Ding, and careful with what you do now. For example, if you go knight f3, he'll take here and then rook d3 can come in. So very cool move, rook d1 played. And now Ding down to 6 minutes 30 seconds. In fact, he thinks for 4 minutes and down to 1 minute 50 seconds. Has 9 more moves to make. Bishop g3, rook comes to h5. Now you can take on e5 already and play knight f3 back. But Gukesh keeps the tension. He goes knight f3. Fantastic chess here. Knight takes knight taken. And now you take with the king. He takes it. King takes f3. And the problem now is that if you take on d1, rook d1 and take on g5, I'm going bishop h4 and there's a mate on d8. So now bishop d4 played, attacking the rook on g1. He plays rook h1. Fantastic chess here by Gukesh. He's offering a trade of rooks. Now the rook can take the rook, but he would be lost there. So Ding now down to what? 10 seconds. He has to make so many moves. Gukesh speeding up, attacking the rook on d7. Ding down to 5 seconds. f5 played, and now Gukesh spots the win. He already sees it. You can see there, Gukesh knows he's winning. He also knows he's winning on time. Bishop f4. Ding Liren plays the last move, rook h5, and he loses on time. But bishop takes f5 is already winning here, because rook takes rook. There is bishop d7 check intermezzo. Gukesh scores the first win. Ding Liren resigns. What an amazing game by Gukesh. After a point, he was absolutely flawless, and he has equalized the score with 1.5, 1.5. An amazing comeback.
This December, the world's top chess minds clash in the heart of New York City at the FIDE World Rapid and Blitz Championship. Witness world #1 Magnus Carlsen and other stars from across the globe. Rapid and Blitz, chess in its most thrilling form, unpredictable and unforgettable. Fast moves, tactics and blunders, and moments that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Witness the pinnacle of chess excitement. Get your tickets now at worldrapidandblitz.fide.com.